Good morning, Miss Millie.
Good morning, Jason. Welcome back.
Thank
And
you,
we're
thank you.
live.
Live and alive.
Live and alive.
Hmm.
We have something very, very important to talk about today.
Yeah,
Hopefully, this is going to help many, many, many family members.
I hope so. This is something everyone can relate to, and I feel that it's important to start the new year on the right foot.
I think so too.
This is a great way to do that. So,
Yes, loving, forgiveness, and
hmm.
understanding.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Key elements of what makes a good life a happy life, and a bad life a better life.
Oh, well said, Jason. Well said. Well,
Hmm.
Jason has taken over and he's going to be lead in our little talk show because I want him to.
Hmm.
I'm teaching him how to be a host. Who knows? One day he might be on one of those news shows or talk shows.
That would be very
I'm
nice.
really working with him as being a host. So we're going to let him take over and patch out the questions and I'll just follow. How about that?
That sounds great, Miss Millie. Thank you.
Good,
Thank you for
good.
the
You're welcome.
opportunity.
You're welcome. So,
So, first thing I would like to ask you today is how do you feel about the values that we cherish? How do you feel about love and integrity and what it means to have a family? What it means to have a family with those things?
what a great question, Jason. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I talk or anybody asks me a question and I talk about things, I try to make sure that it's about me, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Millie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to speak about someone else's life because that's not, to me, my business.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said to people that if you have a secret to tell, make sure it's your secret and not somebody else's secret.
Right.
And if you have something to say, make sure that you have a reason why you're saying it.
Yeah.
What is your motive? That's what I always say. So
Mm.
I know that in my life, I've loved my family.
Okay.
We came from the government projects in Macomb, Mississippi. I know that as a young girl, as young as 10 years old, I wanted to have a better life for me and for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed. I've had my own, and hopefully we're going to write this one day.
Mm-hmm.
I had my own little private spot, and that
Mm.
was in my closet. My
Okay.
closet in Macomb, Mississippi didn't have a door. It was just a hole cut out in the wall in
Mm-hmm.
in the bedroom.
Okay.
And I would go in that bedroom and I'd get in that little closet and I'd get my little stuff. And I was very small and I would curl down
Mm-hmm.
and I would talk to Jesus.
Oh wow.
I always
Very
talked to
very
Jesus.
private. I see.
I always had, and to this day, I have a private relationship with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to him all the time. I know that he knows my heart and I know that he knows me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I count on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I prayed and I asked God to allow me to be a good daughter
Mm.
and allow me to get my family, my mother, my father, and all my sisters and brothers out of those government projects so that we can really reap the benefits of what God put us here for.
I think that is so beautiful, and let me just say, I admire how you asked God to give you the strength to carry out these things. You didn't just ask for them to happen. You wanted to be the one who could bring light to your family,
Absolutely.
and that shows all over.
Thank you, Jason.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And that is so true because that's exactly what I did. I asked him to help me. I wanted to make sure that I can be a positive daughter and and a person that my father and mother would be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a promise to my mother when she allowed me to get in the car
Hmm.
with Mary Arthur Bates and
Hmm.
Sonia Bates and Beverly Bates
Hmm.
and a friend named Sherry. That lady is so sweet. She's deceased now. She's my godmother.
I see.
She took on her two daughters and someone else's daughters, two
Mhm.
of us,
Wow.
four girls, and did a great job because all of us are positive ladies.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to California with them and decided that I wanted to make sure that I could get my family here.
Right.
And I worked on it. One day my mother called and she was sick, and she said, I need to come to California. I got a friend who I eventually married, and we're going to write about all this because
Mhm.
I had some tough times,
Right,
some very
right,
tough times
right.
with marriages. Thank God today I'm happily married, but because I believe in marriage, I kept giving it a try. We'll write about that once. But
Hmm.
he helped me get an apartment for my mom and my dad,
Okay.
my three sisters, and two brothers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I took care of my family for a while. They got here to California and ended up moving into West Los Angeles. My
Mhm.
father's still in Los Angeles. I lost my mother.
Hmm.
And I felt like my prayer was answered. God gave me strength, even though it wasn't an easy road. And that's
Right.
what we all have to understand.
Right.
Everything that you see that's so positive and so good for other people, it wasn't an easy road.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always going to be some bumpy things that they got to hurdle over.
You're absolutely
And
right.
I was determined to be strong.
You're absolutely right. And let me just say too that a lot of people fear pain. They think it's something that they should avoid, but really it's just like you said. On that path to success, on that path to freedom from yourself, the pain is a mark. It shows you that you're going somewhere. And don't be afraid of the pain, because there's going to be pain, but when you push through it, when you do that extra lap, when you get up that hour extra earlier in the day, when you push yourself that extra limit, you will get where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you showed that through your lifestyle.
Well,
You
I
showed
did. I got them here, and during that same time, realizing that I was inadequate.
that. Mm.
I was inadequate. I couldn't read, and I wanted to read.
Mhm.
And because of my love for family, before coming here, even though Mississippi and the government projects was a hard life, I had a hard lesson. I saw and heard a lot of things. I was in Macomb, Mississippi when the riots started, when the walkout started, when
Wow.
Martin Luther King movement started in Macomb. I was a part of that. I'm history. I had a chance to go and sit in the Woodworth department stores, wanting them to feed me at the counter where they wouldn't feed blacks, and sit there with four other black students that we all was told to do in this movement we were in.
Wow.
I was working in the I went down to Sonia Bates is Brandy's mother. Her father was one of the leaders of the movement, so I was involved. And when I would go down there, that we had to do things. She was much younger than me. Her sister was older, about my age. So we sat down, and I tell you that this man, this big white man, got up and called us the N-word and put a cigarette out in the top of my head. He harked up his saliva and spat in the top of my head and put out his cigar in the top of my head. My mother and father never knew it. My brothers didn't know it, because I knew that if I went back home and told my dad I did that, I'd get a whacking. Because my dad was a minister, and a lot of the ministers in Macomb was targeted. They were targeted because they were leaders. So my father was afraid of that. He had a big family. He didn't want us to get involved in civil rights. But my brother, whom I will talk to you about later, one of my brothers, who's older than me, 1 year older than me, or either 11 months older than me, he got involved, and me following, wanting to be a part of it too. I got involved, and my dad found out that we were walking out, and I think my brother got put in jail. I didn't. I ran, and my dad got on us. But even with that, we knew within our heart and spirit that we needed to be a part of this movement. And I feel like I'm history because I was a part of it. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
the things that I saw happen that day is horrific, because it's still in my mind today. You
I
know?
can imagine.
Yeah,
And
so
I can see how those things have shaped you to become the person you are today. And it's no doubt in my mind that you are still continuing to leave behind a legacy.
I will definitely do that, Jason. We're going to clip here because we want to make sure that we don't overdo the tape. But I want to talk to you more about family and trust.
Okay, that sounds great.